So many stories of people pulling together, and right now the Red Cross is setting up shelters for people who have been forced out of their homes. Bridget Williams from the Red Cross joins us on the phone with more on today's response. Bridget, thank you for joining us this evening. Can you tell us where the Red Cross is setting up?
Right now we have 3 shelters up. Most of them are for the winter weather that we have in western Oklahoma. We have one in Woodward, we have one in Little Kansas, and we have one in Elk City. I would encourage your viewers to download the Red Cross Emergency app, which is available from their app stores for Android and iPhone. They can see shelter locations as well as a listing of shelters because as your viewers are probably familiar with, shelters are open and closed based on the needs of that immediate community, and that's an easy way to keep track of it at all times.
And we're just looking at the screen right now of the many ways you can get in touch with the American Red Cross. What kind of information, how are you able to provide some help for the families who have to go to the shelter tonight?
Well, I tell you, we actually have received calls from people who either want to stay in their home, they may have yard flooding, or they want to find out about power outages they may have as a result of flooding. So several things we want to encourage people to do is, if you come to a shelter, is to make sure that you bring with you any medications that you may need, any medical equipment that you may have, so obviously you have the comfort. If you have small children, bring a special toy or blanket with them just because they're going to be in an unfamiliar setting. The other thing we want to remind people is, because rivers are still rising, is if you live anywhere close to any body of water, even a ravine, we're seeing a lot of street flooding. It's to remain aware of rising water, especially overnight, to keep your cars at least half filled with gas in the event evacuation orders are given, or you just realize from observation that you need to leave an area quickly. Also, to make sure that you check with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and look for road closures, and by all means, never drive around a barricade or through standing water. People don't think about it, but more people die from flooding than from tornadoes. So safety is first and foremost.
Bridget Williams with the Red Cross Oklahoma, thank you so much for joining us. Great advice for people who are in need tonight, giving them some sense of security and peace of mind in this time of need. Thank you for joining us. We also have a reminder about floodwaters. You heard Bridget mention it can take as little as 6 inches of water to reach the bottom of most passenger cars. That puts you at risk of either stalling or losing control of the vehicle, and a foot of water will actually float most vehicles. So to be safe, if water is on the road or on a crossing, especially if you can't see how deep it is, turn around, don't drown.